DNA of the Muslim gods. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to have this conversation be rooted in that. But I just wanted to just touch upon, like you're saying, like the DNA or the town. You said it's a little messed up here because of.
Yeah, I mean, when I got out here, God, there was a division going on already between the quote-unquote tribe of Shabazz, which later became the Lost Team, which later became the Muslim Gods, and the 5%ers out here. And a lot of it, basically, in my opinion, God, when I've seen a lot of these brothers, a lot of them were hungry for attention. A lot of them was hungry for an ego. They were trying to be like little Farrakhan's. You know what I mean? They wanted to be on a podium. They wanted people to respect them as that. And they were trying to, get an image like that. And when I came out here, the brother, Universal, had kind of told me some stuff about him. And G. Khalid basically was like getting their ass.
Bomb him every time you see him.
Bomb him every time you see him, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much, that's what it was. It was like, yo, we gonna go through these degrees, you're gonna have to show and prove the whereabouts of your deity. And back then, I used to always think it was important to use the word deity as opposed to God, because they kind of convolute that word God, you know what I'm saying, by saying God is force and power, but that doesn't really describe the function that they are actually applying, which is to that word, which is something that's supernatural that they bow down to and they believe has control and governance over their life and over the universe. So I'd rather use the word deity because it's more befitting of the way they see Farad. You know what I mean? Because we don't have deities here. You know what I mean? So, if you ask them who's your God, you're going to go in a circle with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm God, but I'm not God, but the black man's God. I'm a black man, but the black man that Farad is, he's the real God, and boom, boom, boom. And it's like, let's not play these games. Let's just use terminology that we can both agree to and have that conversation. So that was happening a lot. And the Muslim brothers at the time, while we were building, granted, most of the gods that came out here were very, we were young. You know what I'm saying? We were rough around the edges. And these brothers, most of them were coming from suburban homes. They were in college, and the guards was bombing them fiercely. You know what I mean? When I say fiercely, God, this is not to brag about the situation that happened, but I remember one time Universal, we went to a Universal Zulu Nation meeting, and Universal had came out there and shit. He came out from New York, and we went out there and we ran into a brother named Born Righteous. I think his name is Malud on Facebook now or something like that. Malud. And he still associates with the Muslim gods. And word is born, God. Universal was like, yo, how he's asking him, going through like, how you gonna submit your God and also be God, you know what I'm saying? And he's taking him through it, and the brother was like, I'm both, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I wear both flags. So Universal was like, you can't wear both flags. Your matter can't occupy two spaces at one time. I remember him saying this. And the brother was like, no, it can. And Universal was like, well, how? And Born Righteous was like, well, if you standing with one foot and the state line's in the middle, and you got your foot on one state and your foot in the other state, you occupy two spaces at one time. This is the brother's answer. I'll never forget it. So Universal, it's how I learned the word semantics. Universal looked and said, yo, God, you keep playing these fucking semantics, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. And the brother, we inside Clark Atlanta's campus, the brother lips start shaking, his hands start shaking, his whole body he lost control of his physical, composure.
Right.
And Universal was like, yo, you gotta choose what you're gonna deal with. That used to be something he used to say commonly to brothers. You gotta choose where you're going. You can't be in both houses. And the brother was like, well, I don't see why I should have to choose. He's like, I just told you. Then Universal said, a Muslim, the true only one that submits to Allah is a black woman, so a true Muslim is a black woman. So you a woman? And the brother said, I guess I am. Ooh. Boy, I'll never forget it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he was like, well, all right, then you need to take the flag off. Then the brother was like, all right, well, I won't wear the flag, but I'm still also God. So he's like, so you confused, you're a Muslim God. That's the first time I heard it was when Universal was saying it to him. You know what I mean?
Muslim God.
And the brother was like, well, I guess I am. And he's still shaking, whatever. He was like, all right, well then, peace, queen. And the brother said peace and walked off. And I'll never forget that. Being from Brooklyn, you kind of like, damn, dude, like you could have said something else, you know what I mean?
If Mecca did this.
Peace. In celebration of each other, we support each other's hustle. Weight Life has sponsored this content. You can get a sweatshirt,
t-shirt, or a hoodie at the Common Unity store of a law school in Mecca. Or just simply hit me up. I got the hookup. Peace.